You've already heard some of the things that PACE does to improve the community from Bertha and Carla, by the way. She talked about that as well. During the course of a year, many people make positive achievements towards self-reliance, and truthfully, we don't spotlight this enough. And we've talked about this a number of times in our board meetings. We need to get better at press releases and getting that word out that we do that here. We're planning to give a self-reliance award every year to someone that has made considerable efforts to become self-reliant. Criteria for selecting a candidate for this award include, but are not limited to, obtaining or maintaining gainful employment, preferably with benefits, maintaining a household, improvement in education, Dr. Helton, education, Craig Parsley, education, as we beat that up so much, acquiring assets, and this year our award goes to Matt Haaff. Matt, come on up. Matt is custodian of PACE with his team. Andy, you can come out too if you would. Before this employment opportunity, Matt was part-time at a few other places. He worked part-time in a few other places. He maintained full-time employment since 2009. He now has insurance benefits. Congratulations on that. We all like that. In 2011, Matt moved from his parents to his own apartment at Ivy Lane, one of those very nice apartments. And he's clearly on the path to self-sufficiency. He's over income for most assistance program. And Bertha, you have an award for him.
Come on, Matt. So we just have a little self-reliance award for Matt and a card for him to go out and enjoy himself and have dinner. So that's for you, and we'll turn it over to you.
Thank you.
Very good.
Good evening, everyone. As you know, my name is Matthew Haaff. I've been with the company for 3+ years now, and I hired in part-time with Andy, doing night shift and odd jobs, and worked my way up through the company, moved on to day shift and became a full-time employee and trained other people in their jobs, and also during that time helped with them and the students, and enjoyed that, and also met a bunch of people. Thank you, Bertha and Lori, for all your chances, and Andy for teaching me in all my ways, showing me everything, helping me in my growth, and now the chance to live in the apartments that PACE has provided. Thank you, Carla and Mike and Herb and Bertha and Lori, for all your success, for making me success where my apartment is. I truly consider it a blessing, because it is also right next door to my church. I can just walk to church, and that is so awesome. And I just thank you, everyone, for allowing me and inviting me to this dinner. It is truly awesome, and thank you.
Man, it's beautiful weather we're having, isn't it? I think it's spring weather. Kind of puts spring training into my thoughts. I'm an Angels fan. Oh, and by the way, I'm Andy Anderson. I run the cleaning company. My mind's on baseball, though. I'm an Angels fan, and during the off season, we acquired a first baseman. I don't know, maybe some of you might have heard of him, Howard Pujols. And just kind of, hey, who do you guys got playing first this year, Brent? Pitching staff up? Ready to go?
Yep.
How about utility players? You guys got utility players lined up?
We've got a ton of utility players.
Good ones? They're hard to come by. Yeah, hard to come by.
We actually sent our utility player to the Angels.
Yeah. Think about utility players. I kind of looked up some of the things on a utility player. In baseball, a utility player is a player who can play several different positions. In general, each Major League Baseball team has at least one player who can be described as a utility player. Most professional teams have two types of utility players. There are utility infielders, who usually play all the infield positions, plus occasionally catcher. Utility outfielders, or fourth outfielders, tend to play all three outfield positions at various times, Occasionally there will be players who perform a combination of the two duties. Successful pitchers contend for the Cy Young Award, while run-producing position players are eligible for Silver Slugger Awards, Gold Glove Awards. Even deserving closers who often enter into the heat of battle can claim the Fireman Award. Super subs, they pretty much receive a pat on the back from their managers and knuckle raps from their teammates. Internally, their work is appreciated even though they receive minimal public recognition in the process. Often utility players fly under the radar, yet their value is high because they give managers so many different options. If you can play in the infield and outfield, especially shortstop, center field, you're an even more treasured commodity. In softball, a utility player is a player who can play several positions, but can also bat well. Coaches often look for such players to bat as a cleanup or fifth in their lineup. On the gridiron, football utility player is often capable of playing multiple positions, and often they may play both offense and defense. The concept was far more common in the early days of football when pro teams used their best athletes in many ways as possible, and substitutions were far more restricted, meaning players had to stay on the field for offense and defense and special teams. This was known as a one platoon system. It's still very common in smaller high schools to see top players play 2 or even 3 ways: offense, defense, special teams, and multiple positions. The Arena Football League for many years made almost all of its players, with the exception of 2 players on each side, always a quarterback and a kicker. The quarterback and kicker were never on the field at the same time, and usually a wide receiver and 2 defensive backs play both sides of the ball. This was known as the Iron Man. Ice hockey, I'm not a real big hockey fan, but from what I understand, the term utility player tends to refer not to a player that plays more than one forward position, but to a player that can play both defense and forward. Teams may use a defensive man as a forward or vice versa for a variety of reasons. It's extremely rare for a goaltender to play any position other than goaltender. Likewise, it's just as rare for non-goaltenders to suit up and goal because of the significant difference in skills and equipment required for the position. Basketball, the term utility player is rarely used. In basketball outside of fantasy leagues, instead, basketball uses the term 6-man, tweener, and swingman to refer to a player who can play 2 to 3 different positions. The NFL has special teams, players who start on these very important units and have to back up other positions to make it cost effective to keep them on the team. General sporting terms, a player who is capable of playing competently in any of several positions. In the business and professional world, it's a worker who's expected to serve in any of several capacities. Performing arts and theater, an actor who plays any of numerous small parts. Utility man, a workman expected to serve in any capacity when called on. Here at Pace Ventures Cleaning, we have a name for it also, Matt. Thank you.
I'm told on here, thank you all for being here tonight. Announce that we're having dinner and we're going to mingle. And I'd like to invite the corporate officers to start the food line. Other than that, let's enjoy the time together that we have. Thanks a lot, everybody.